Hey guys, today I'm going to go over how I build Bard and what, in my opinion, are the best builds and best stats and best gear in general that you should build and aim for on Bard. Starting off, I will go over exactly what perks and skills I like to use on Bard. To start off, Charismatic Performance is the main perk you should use in general at all, because this allows you to skip songs and not play the full song when you are, playing the bard. Next, we have Rapier Mastery. Now, I do think that Rapier Mastery is another necessity for Bard, just for the fact that Rapier, in my mind, is the strongest weapon you can use. You have a perk that gives you +2 weapon damage and 5% action speed while using it. So, in my opinion, Bard best weapon is Weapon Mastery, hands down. That's why it is, in my mind, another necessity. Now, then we move on to Superior Dexterity, which I very much recommend because it helps you. As you can see, it's 50% faster whenever you switch between your weapons, your utilities, and whatnot, which is very helpful because you have a lot of different utilities, and it can get kind of overwhelming at times when you play Bard. So having this to help you switch through everything you have is extremely helpful. Then we get to the fourth perk, which I recommend either War Song or Storyteller. If you are running a full melee comp, War Song is going to do you so much better. Let's say you have a fighter with a cleric and a bard. You're not going to want Storyteller that gives you +3 will, +3 knowledge. It's not going to help your fighter. It might help your cleric a little bit, might help you a little bit, but that weapon damage, 3 weapon damage split up between your whole team, is very, very helpful. Now, the perks that I would say are kind of mid and stuff, Dancing Feet. If you really don't think you need Superior Dex, you could change that out. If you don't think Superior Dex is helpful to you at all, you can go for Mata, which, gain 5 resourcefulness. So resourcefulness also increases how long your music lasts, and not all of them. The only perks that resourcefulness affect are songs like Rousing Rhythms, Harmonic Shield, The Courage, Beats of Alacrity, and Area of Alacrity. These are kind of the only ones that are affected anymore from resourcefulness. They nerfed it to where Accelerando, Allegro, they have set times. And then they also nerfed Shriek of Weakness. This used to go up with your resourcefulness and last longer, but they shadow nerfed it without saying anything in the patch. But it is now set to only 18 seconds and 12 seconds and 6 seconds. It does not change with your persuasiveness or resourcefulness. So the reason resourcefulness for Bard goes up, makes your songs play more, is your persuasiveness. This is 1-to-1 with your resourcefulness. 1-to-1. So if I go over here and see how it's 15, I put this on, I get 20-20. It is a 1-for-1 copy. And with this perk, when you only have 15 to a base 20, I would say gives you about a 15-20% increase on time. So like the 120 seconds, it's going to last you an extra 30 seconds or so, which can be really helpful if you get tiring of playing the song all the time. Now, we also move on to Jolly Time, which is not bad. I wouldn't say it's too bad of an option if you have full physical healing stuff, but other than that, it's kind of troll. So not many people run it. And when I say full physical healing gear is like right here. 2 physical healing on this. If you go to my necklaces and rings, I have physical healing, physical healing, physical healing. So there's not a lot you can get for physical healing. That is why this isn't really OP or it's really good, but it is, like, I would say mediocre. I still recommend running, running these perks and whatnot, and try not to take up an extra perk with Jolly Time. Now, Lore Mastery, just completely useless in my opinion. 25% regular interaction speed. In my mind, this is completely useless. Now, then we get this one, which I also think is useless unless you're... Because if it was holding an instrument, you gain 30% physical damage reduction, that would be really good. Because you go like melee loot or something, like a troll build. But this is while you are playing music, you have 30% physical damage reduction. The only time I think this is useful is when you're messing with people with like piercing shrill and you're trying to kill them with it. But this is troll. And then we get reinforced instrument. Now, I would say this is troll. It's only for troll builds. That is it. Only weapon you can really attack with right now is drum and flute. Only 2 that gain damage from it. Now, throwing drums doesn't do a lot of damage anymore. They kind of nerfed it, and how far you could throw them and everything. They nerfed how strong they are. Same with the loot. The loot just never was, amazing, but it's not good either. It is just a troll build that you want to try just to be funny. Then you could try it. It's not OP or anything. It's just kind of a troll build as well. And then we went over Storyteller. I would run Storyteller when you're with like Wizard, Cleric, and you are buffing and your kite comp. Or if you're running with like 2 Warlocks, 2 Wizards, something like that. Whatever benefits your comp more, Warsong or Storyteller. And then we get Wanderer's Luck. Now, I think that Wanderer's Luck you should not use unless you are strictly PvEing and you aren't just running into people. Maybe it's late at night or something. You're like, I'm gonna just put on luck to see how high I can get luck and whatnot. In my mind, it is not good at all. It's just not. It's just not that great at all. And then we get to the skills. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I would just only have the 2 spell memory. These are just terrible. Absolutely terrible. You just don't... I mean, what? You get this one, Dissonance, makes it to where you silence players' skills, spells, and performance abilities for 3 seconds. Now, that is only 3 seconds. You don't even have time to pull out your weapon in that time. Now, it might help you in solos if you're facing a wizard or something, but having all your spells and perks, in my opinion, are way more important than just having any of these. And then like Encore, if it played it immediately, that would be fantastic, but this just plays the whole song perfectly, which is terrible. And then I'm not even gonna lie to you, I don't even know what this is, like what it fully does. This just seems terrible. I've never even tried it. It's just not... I don't even know what it is. I'm going to be honest. But, so, now, let's move on to the music. This is one of the, in my mind, the most important parts of how to build Bard. Now, the songs I recommend using, or if you're playing trios or duos, even solos, this is what I would recommend. Kind of. I'll get to do solos here in a second, but for trios, I would run Shriek of Weakness, Allegro, Accelerando, Rousing Rhythms, Beats of Alacrity, Piercing Shrill, Ballad, Harmonic, Area of Alacrity, and Lament of Languor. Now, this one is pretty interchangeable, I would say. All these others, the self buffs, like these 5 right here, are all self buffs. These are needed. And Shriek of Weakness are needed. In my opinion, these are a must-have. Now, these are for your team. If you are not giving your team these buffs, then I feel like you are kind of doing something wrong, because these are really insane for your team to be able to help them move faster or for them to be able to attack faster, especially you going into a fight, playing Allegro and then getting a streak of weakness off. You are going to have a huge advantage over whoever you are fighting. Now, so that kind of leaves these two perks in my mind that you can change out. So Piercing Trio is my absolute favorite perk on board, just because I love how much you control and mess with people with this. That's the only reason. It is really, really annoying and really good in no gear to medium gear lobbies. I will show you that later in the video whenever I fight people with it and whatnot, but Shriel is really annoying. And Langor, you know, reduces movement speed on targets by 10. So it's okay, but at the same time, if you want, you can change it out for, like, you know, Clarity, Song of Shadow even, Tranquility, which is, I think, kind of troll. You can maybe do one of the Peacemaking, Song of Silence or Peacemaking. I don't recommend it just because they're not that OP anymore. They used to be really good, but now they're just meh. It might let you live for like a second or two longer, but then you're ultimately gonna just die because you're playing a song and you can't really run away that fast. But these are the songs I would recommend in trios and in duos. Now for solos, I do recommend these, like these. Crap, I gotta count them. What, these 7 perks? Music skills? What the fuck? Music? Just, I don't know what to call them. But these 7 are what I would say you want to use in solos. They are all the self buffs, weakness, and shrill. Now, these in solos ungeared, so if you are going in with Squire gear, are the most annoying and best perks to use. Because what I like to do is I like to go in solos and buff up fully, try and, if I'm fighting someone, get a streak of weakness off, and then I just shriel them to death. It's kind of annoying, but if you just go Squire gear with, like, you know, move speed or something, and you just run the, take off this because you're not going to be hitting people, you just run dancing feet or something, you are just going to mess with people and annoy the crap out of them. If you go in geared to solos and you have the mim cap, I would definitely run, you know, these 9 and then, you know, 10. I would still run this the same you would run in trios and duos, but solos is not my most played, so I just kind of go in and, you know, mess with people a little bit. But now here is another big part that we're going to go to: the gear and stats you should run on board, which is probably the second main. You know, you got your perks, music, and then you have the gear you want. Now, the stats and everything that you should aim for is around 30 dex. You want the mim cap of 19, because when you get to 19 mim cap, you are able to go and purchase flutes. If you're running at least my build, if I go right here, if I have 19 mim cap, I'm gonna get +2 from my Rousing Rhythms, which will get me to 21. And then if I have a flute with +2 mim cap, if I have one in here, I could show you. So I could buy a flute on the market for +2 mim cap and put that on. So whenever I play, you know, Piercing Shriel, I'm gonna have 23 mim cap. And then if I have, you know, these 2 songs, loot automatically comes with knowledge base. So if you just get like a purple loot with mim cap or something, then you're able to play all your songs as well without sacrificing gear to build up mim cap. So let's say, like right here, I have 2 dex, 10 armor, and 3 mim cap. I could change that out since I have 23 knowledge. 23 mim cap. I could change out that mim cap for something else. Maybe HP or something. Well, it has max HP, but, you know, agility, something else on it. Now, for health and whatnot, I would just try and go for as much health as you can possible. Just try and build up as much health. You can never go wrong with HP. Now, action speed and move speed. These are 2 pretty big ones, I would say. If you are building high move speed, it is directly correlated to your armor rating as well. These, I kind of messed up. These three right here. You want, if you are a low move speed, you want high armor. But if you are trying to go a, let's say you are the front line in a cleric, bard, wizard comp. That's one of the comps I played the most of. This is what this is built for. I am gonna be kind of slow move speed with very high PDR. As you can tell, I don't even have a shield on. I should get around 55-60% PDR with this build, and around 170 HP with HP on my weapon and on my shield. But your move speed, if you have high PDR, is going to be around 95%. This is a really high move speed build with double move speed boots, like move speed on agi on some stuff, but this is what I would aim for, around 95% move speed if you were going around 40% PDR. Now action speed, I would try and get around 15%. You're gonna have that if you go like around 30 decks. You're gonna have that action speed, just because your alacrity, you're gonna get action speed, and you're also gonna get action speed from your rapier mastery perk, which makes it to where you don't need to build a crap ton of action speed. Now, if you are going for, magic resistance, which I don't think you should do, but you can if wizards and stuff get really bad. You can go golden leaf hood, ornate jazzerin for a chest, and then for boots you go dashing boots. I don't recommend it. That's just something I'm throwing out there if you want to build that. But physical power bonus as well, you get from strength and whatnot. I do recommend building a little strength so you do hit for at least some damage with your rapier, even though you do get 2 weapon damage, and you should be building true and stuff. Now for bard, I'm going to show you the gear, stats, and what type of gear you should be looking for. Now, because bard has so many different things that you're looking for, strength, vigor, dex, knowledge, memcap, HP, armor rating, you can build a lot of different ways. That is why I say bard is one of the highest scaling classes in the game, with skill, knowledge, and everything, because you need to know how, and PvP and everything, and your perks and your skills and gear and how to build and everything. It is really difficult. I also forgot to mention that for bard, you can build in my mind, there are 2 ways you can build bard. You can go 3 ways technically. You could go a tanky HP build, or you could go a fast damage build, or you could be in the middle, tanky, kind of fast and whatnot. This, I would say, is a kind of fast tanky build. Definitely tanky though, because 47%. But if you are going for a tanky build, I recommend going heavy gambeson, wolf hunters, adventure, ruby silver adventure, or just adventurer boots with move speed, something like that. That's for tanky. If you go in move speed build, I recommend brave hunters instead, like this kit right here, how I have straw hat, brave hunters and whatnot. This is really good. This is a fast build. Or if you want to go super fast, high dex build to where you play songs pretty fast, wanderer's attire, you can go loose trousers if you want, or you could go brave hunters instead with leather gloves, just full dex, full action speed, full just fast speed if you really want to make a kite comp. But most of the time, your music with your move speed right here, these 2 buffs are going to give you move speed. You're going to be really high move speed anyway. So in my mind, building the tanky strength build is with HP is the best build in my mind. Now for the weapon, try and go rapier. Just go rapier. That's it. Just go rapier with a buckler. That is what I would recommend. Rapier with a buckler with magic, armor rating, weapons, or you could go HP, like max HP bonus with armor. I think I have another one in here that is armor rating, weapon damage, and HP. Try and go that on your shield. Now, for headpieces, try and look for Dex, armor rating, or Mimcap. Agi, Vigor on a straw hat if you're looking for damage. Here's another one. This is just kind of a troll one. Frostlight. Don't go knowledge base. I recommend trying to go, the Vigor base. Even the strength base sometimes is a little bit of troll, but if it has good stats, you can run it. If you get a golden leaf hood, you can use it. It has a little bit more mag res on it, but it does not have as much armor rating. So if I put this on this kit, I'm losing around 3%. Even though it doesn't have that 3 extra armor on it, it is still missing a good amount of armor. So I recommend just trying to go leather caps for your headpiece, or if you just want to look stylish, go a golden leaf hood. Now, for chest pieces, the heavy gambeson is the absolute best chest piece for a bard. It has the highest armor rating with the lowest move speed penalty and the best bases possible. It has strength and vigor base. Now, stats you want to look for on it are, armor rating, HP, Dex, Mimcap. Like this right here, we have a double Mimcap HP. This is pretty okay. I would call this mid since it only has HP and Mimcap. No armor, not amazing, still pretty good though. Now here we have HP only on this. It does have fizz power, magic damage reduction, but it's still pretty mid. Let's see if I have now another one right here is what I would say a pretty good heavy gambeson. It has armor rating, physical damage reduction, and Mimcap. So this is a double PDR chest piece with Mimcap. So this is pretty good. I would recommend wearing that. Now, this right here, it has HP and Dex, and so this is okay. The main thing about heavy gambesons, though, is that the base of them are what make them the best. Like, let's look at a Grand Brigadine. It has 62 armor rating. Let's look at Legendary. Compare the Legendaries. So, 66, 66, but it's minus 13 move speed, but it has 3 agility. So, technically, it's 66 with minus 10 move speed and 4 dex. That is the base of it. You get 4 extra dex with the same armor. With a heavy gambeson, you get plus 1 move speed, but you get how much HP? Like almost 10 HP, like 6 HP extra than you do with a Grand Brigadine, which is pretty insane. And you get this. I mean, you just have basically the same stats, but you lose dex. But if you're building everything, ruby, silver, dex rings, or something, you do not have to go. That's just why heavy gambeson is the best. You can go Grand Brigadine. It's the second best in my mind chest piece for bard. If you're going like a move speed build as well, it is a not bad option. Now, for your leggings, I recommend Wolf Hunters. If you're going for tanky build, it's Wolf Hunters, golden leggings, or heavy leathers. Now, the stats you are specifically looking for are Dex, armor rating, Mimcap, HP, knowledge, Agi even. It's pretty universal on every single piece of armor what you are looking for. You should be looking for all of those stats on every single piece, except, like boots, you should look for move speed instead with sometimes armor rating. Or gloves, and rings and cape and pendant, you look for damage, true, additional, and then whatever comes after that. But, leggings, Wolf Hunters if you're going tanky build, or heavy leathers or golden leggings, and if you're going for move speed build, loose trousers with HP, armor rating, Brave Hunters with HP, armor rating, knowledge. That would be for a move speed build. And now let's go to the boots. Boots. I really only use Ruby Silver Adventurer boots, no matter what. It is high. It has higher PDR than turn shoes, 2 times the PDR than turn shoes, and with turn shoes, you only get 2 agi extra, which is, and you also have less dex by 1, but the armor rating is just a lot more than it is on turn shoes. So that's why I recommend adventure boots in general. Now, stats I will look for is double move speed, PDR, or HP. So armor rating, HP, and even memcap. Like I said, they're universal between everything, but that's what you are looking for on boots, mainly the move speed. And I recommend kind of only going adventure boots. You can, if you really want, go the turn shoes if you want to go for a cheaper kit. Even if you just want like golden boots, they're strength base, but there's no dex on them. So if you wear these, I would say wear maybe like leather gloves or double dex rings, dex on other pieces of armor, but it's really tough to wear other boots that don't have dex and still have around the 30 dex mark. So that's why I recommend Ruby Silver Adventure boots. Now, for gloves, there's a good few gloves you can use. I recommend either going reinforced with true armor rating, memcap, golden gloves as well. They're just reinforced, but a little bit better, or frostlight riveteds, or just riveteds in general. Now, you can go gray wolves. They do have max health with agility. I would put that on a move speed build. Same with leather gloves. I would put those on a move speed build. But I mostly use reinforced and riveted gloves. These two are the best, I would say, for board if you're going a tanky board build. Because like these right here, I got 2 vigor, I have true, and I have action speed. And the base is 6 strength armor. It has 20 armor and 1 move speed. So my move speed penalty, instead of being what's the normal one, like, you know, I gain an extra move speed. Sorry, not too important, but it's helpful. I still recommend going strength gloves over HP though, because just currently having that extra strength when you are fighting front lines and whatnot can be really helpful. So right now I recommend going strength based gloves or reinforced. Lean more towards the strength base though. And for the cape, I recommend going either tattered cloak, or you could go the dex cloak. Depending on the stats you have, you could go either one. Or even if you have a lot of stats you're happy with, but you are really low on knowledge, you could even go a radiant cloak. But I just like a radiant cloak with fizz damage, true, armor rating, something like that. They are cheap and not too bad of an option. But tattered cloak and the dex cloak are the 2 best cloaks in my opinion. You can go vigilant cloak if you really need that more HP. You can with the same stats, just try and go vigilant. But I recommend the tattered and the dex cloak. Now with the tattered cloak, you know, looking for the same stats you always do, and helps you build up that strength and everything. Now let's move on to the rings and pendant. These are one of the your main sources of damage, I would say, because you go true, you go additional, and these also give you one of the most important stats. You know, you could go these could change up how you build your set. Like right here, I'm going strength, but let's say I didn't have this ring. If I didn't have this ring on, I would be kind of low stats. You know, I'm missing 5 dexterity, and let's say I didn't have. Crap, I have a lot of dex on this kit. You have dex on everything. Let's take off the boots. Let's say I had something like this. You know, kind of low dex, and I'm missing a ring. I would go dex ring. You know, something just simple like that. That's why I give you. That's why I say a base of 30 dex, high HP, move speed 95% with 40% armor rating. Because if you try and match those stats, you're gonna get armor. You're gonna figure out what armor pieces, what rings you want and stuff. But for pendant, I do recommend going either a necklace apiece, because these are cheaper than if you go frost amulet with armor rating, and max health, like these get really expensive. But if you want to use the money, I recommend a Frost Amulet then. But Necklace of Peace gives you really good HP. Armor, they just don't have the true damage. And if you're going for, you know, the glass cannon of a bard where you get in there and you get active, I recommend a Frost Amulet with max HP and armor rating. But if you're playing the backline buff, I recommend like a Necklace of Peace, armor rating with damage. Now, if you do not have really good rings like this or something, Grimmies in general are the best for board. If you if you have enough decks and whatnot, Grimmies with armor rating, max health, armor pin, damage. Grimmies themselves have really good stats, as in, 3 vigor with 2 strength. This almost gives me 10 HP just with the 3. Like, it gives me, what, 6 HP just normally? 5 HP? I'm not doing the math. But Grim Smiles, even with no stats, are really good on board, just because they give you that HP and strength that are just fantastic. And now, let's get to the secondary, which I recommend either a crossbow or survivor bow. Right now, survivor bow has been one of my more favorites, just because you can do a lot of poke damage against squishies. But if you're going up against more PDR players, then crossbow is a really good option, since it has that 30% armor pin. It will hurt fighters and other stuff if they're pushing you. But if you're going up against like a wizard and a warlock, you're going to get more shots off and more damage with the survivor bow, making it to where, you're going to just have a better chance against them if you go survivor bow rather than crossbow. So right here, we are fighting a Pesty, Deathbloom, and a Xerxes team. We know that there is a Rogue, Ranger, Warlock. Now, when fighting a Rogue, you want to stay as close as your team as possible, either playing Din or Shriel, or if you're pushing far distances, you just stay close. Like right here, I kind of messed up by leaving Apollo a little out, but I get closer to him right here, and then boom, Rogue tries to hop on him, and I'm in there immediately blocking him off. That is what you need to do if you are fighting a Rogue, is as soon as he tries to get up like a bit far away, and then boom, Rogue's out, and I'm in front of Apollo. That is what you need to do. You need to be able to be there and block off. Now, you lose the 1v1 versus Rogue if they get the first hit off on you, if they're geared as you. So me blocking him right there was really good. So I block him, he starts running back. Apollo's cooking a little bit. Random Druid, and I'm in there. Kill Pesty. Sadly, we are not able to chase that because there was another team coming across bridge, and there were a lot of rats. But end up getting Pesty. That guy just kind of leaves. But in that scenario, as you saw, I kind of played close, got in the way of that Rogue, made sure he couldn't stay on, made him low, and then waited for my wizard to cook, pushed in, made space, was able to kill one as well. That was the perfect spacing, good everything. That was really good right there. Now, I will show this fight as well. It is not, I would say, the best, but it does show a few good things. Now, you see me making sure, Apollo's buff with Allegro. This makes his casting speed faster as well. Accelerando too. And letting him cook while I make sure my team is buffed up. Trying to get a few pop shots like he is. Trying to, just do some damage while Apollo's doing his thing. I see Apollo's closing in. I'm getting close. Try and get the Shriek off. I see I got it off. And I start to get a little bit aggressive making space for him. So right here, I would say I made a mistake. The reason I made a mistake is I am trying to fight I try and catch the wizard off guard, but I forget that they have a frontline cleric. So I block, this is another very important thing as well. Blocking wizard spells. This is one of the core mechanics you have against fighting a wizard, is that buckler. If you get up and you aim it at the right hand when they cast a spell, you can block the spell. Like right there, you see, I blocked his spell with the buckler, making it to where his magic missiles are canceled, and he has a like half a second where he can't cast a spell. That helps you be able to kill him, kill wizards and win the fight versus wizards. I will show you another clip where I fight like Retsi Raposa's team when they do that. Sadly, I don't have it from my POV. It will be from Retsi's. But so see how I went in too far right there? I now have the frontline cleric on me who is beating my ass while I'm backing up, and it's really tough to get away. This is when faithfulness was in the game, and it's making it to where you just can't get away from them. So good thing I have a really good healer healing me through that mistake, and then Apollo magic missile stuffs the bard, and then he does the same with the cleric. And there's yeah, don't mind that. A lot of rats, but that is one where, oh, if it would play, that is where I made a mistake. Right here, I just got too comfortable. Hit, blocked right there. That was really good. If that was a backline cleric, that would have been really good. Problem is, I just did it with a frontline cleric. I shouldn't have done that. That is a mistake. But decent block right there. But in general, that was a pretty big mistake. That almost cost us the whole thing. So don't try and get too gritty like I did. It almost costed us that whole fight. So in this clip, I'm just showing you how I try and deal with rogues, since a lot of people get upset, and in my mind, rogues were very strong until the recent nerfs. I still think that they are really strong and they're a good class, but people are blowing out that they got nerfed. They're still a really good class, but right here, a rogue hops on Apollo, hits him twice. Apollo is in a really good kit, like 40% PDR kit, and like 160 HP, and he gets destroyed. So I'm like, this guy's geared. And I go in and I, cut off his line of sight to Apollo, and I just hop on him. Apollo, like a chatty is just fucking magic missiling the guy on 1 HP, and then zaps him and kills him, which kind of funny. But see, I see rogue on Apollo, I see where he's going, and I just cut off the rogue from getting to him. That's how I try and play against rogues in this comp, which works sometimes, doesn't work all the time. Now, I could show you a clip of what you are not supposed to do when you are fighting versus a wizard comp in general. So right here, let me go back like 5 more seconds. Right here, we see that the comp wizard, bard, cleric, and I get the weakness off, and the bard pushes in at Todd, and at this moment, I should have tried to block off the bard from getting heals and just hopped on with him. Instead, I try and go for the back line. Now, I don't think this is an entirely bad play. It is definitely not as good as helping and just kill the bard, but what I do, it makes it way worse, is I hop on the cleric, and then right here, if you could see, the wizard starts holding magic missile, and then I go for another hit in instead of trying to block or something, and the wizard just destroys me, and I end up dying. Now, Apollo ends up clutching and killing him and rezzing us, but that is that is something that you should try and watch out for. Magic missiles on wizards are one of your, they're very dangerous, and if you're not playing it right, you're gonna die. Now, in this comp, we are fighting a spellweaver cleric, a wizard, and a bard. These guys are very geared. Now, they're trying, so Apollo and Apache are low on spells because we've been fighting since in Crypts, and now we're in Hell, and they need a campfire for spells. So I'm trying to hold the door, and I see like, I'm not going to be able to hold that door. There's a wizard, cleric, and bard at that door. So I back up, and my plan is to get this weakness off, and while they're fighting each other, I'm trying to jump down right here and be behind them. Now, it would have went just fine either way, but Apollo ended up getting a nasty kill off on the board because he made a mistake. So now it's just me running and pushing them. He's trying to early magic missile, you know, I'm dodging the magic missiles and block, ice sting. I know I have a cleric as well. They have a cleric, I have a cleric. Apollo gets that nasty shot, but like, let's say this right here. You hear the magic missile casting. I see where it is. I can easily dodge it. Second one, space myself correctly. He's charging a fireball, which can hurt, but at the same time, from this distance, it's going to hurt both of us. And if I just hold up my shield, I'm not going to take a lot of damage like I just did. Now, ice bolt right there, pretty good choice. It slowed me, and also I hit his ice shield. So that's why you see me just slow as shit trying to hit him for the second time after that. Like, right? Boom, magic missile, and then this ice bolt. That hit was so slow. But now he's dead. And then cleric, out. Spellweaver, right there. But versus wizard, that is how you want to try and play if you have a cleric pocket. If not, then try and space yourself better and use your crossbow or survivor bow to wear him down a little bit. We got first place in a duos. No trade, no merchant, no war, like nothing. It was everything you found you had to bring in the next game. So you cannot buy anything, no meds, no nothing, no arrows, anything. And this is how I tried to play. I was acting as the front line and the damage in this. So ended up finding a crossbow and using that to poke. Change out to survivor bow. Now this is where Shriel can come in really handy. So another thing about Shriel is this Shriek of Weakness right here. Shriel is physical damage. So if you get Shriek off of weakness and then you start Shrieling, you're gonna do like 10 to 5 more damage per Shriel, which is really good. So I see that I got it off. So a judgment on the fighter, and I get a shield off. Keeping my spacing. Just one tap, I get a drum thrown at me. Then he second wins. He ends up jumping off, and then we end up jumping on him and kill him for the points and everything. But that's a really good, you know, that's a really good way that you use Shriel and poke and whatnot. In this fight, it is another good example of how I use Shriel. So we are facing a Warlock and a Barbarian. I do not win straight up Barbarian fights if they're as good as me. So I don't know how good this man is, but you know, I Shriel him, keep my space, take out my survivor bow, try and do some damage. Teammate, Pashi's just boom. He was low from the few survivor bow shots, and then holy strike, boom, he's dead. Now chase the Warlock, survivor bow shot, Pashi, and then also another big thing, Shriel goes through floors. So I have my flute right here. I couldn't play it though because I didn't have +2 all on to give me the mid cap. But Shriel goes through floors and walls. There is no limit, which is really helpful. So in this fight as well, we are facing a really geared rogue and a really geared cleric. So this rogue pushes, he gets kind of scared, so he backs up a little bit, but they just get trapped in mobs, and we just annihilate mobs, shoot them, kill them. These guys had some pretty insane gear. But at the time, as you could tell, it's +2 on a Grimmy. This is when gear looked a little different, but they were really geared whenever we were not that geared. So in this fight, it is a wizard and a fighter. Best thing I could do, survivor bow. Boom. I had a weakness off on him, hit a survivor bow shot on the wizard, come through, fighter. Fighting the fighter, and this wizard right here, I know he's casting a fireball. If I just back up, then I'm gonna get fireballed while he just is there. and he just throws free spells at me. So I know I have to make space. So I see it, and I jump at him. I tank the fireball. I do this too because I know I have a cleric behind me. But I tank the fireball, hit him, he's dead. Because I jumped at him and he hit me and splashed himself with his own fireball, he ended up dying. Which is why, you know, always just backing up isn't always the option. And then I don't like Falchion because, as you see, me trying to get over his shield is really annoying. So this is another duo fight. These guys are also really geared. But as you see, I'm pushing in. I'm throwing spells. Pashi's doing an amazing job throwing holy strikes and whatnot. But poke damage around the corner. I know that they're one shot. I just asked for the pocket. Oh, with a little. Dead. Now, this is definitely good because I have the pocket. Like, really good. But I recommend this if you have a pocket. I mainly play whenever I have a cleric or something, or someone else, because Bard, it's really tough to be the only damage dealer in the comp. But, you know, failing Axe's general is hard to deal with. But at the start right here, this is really good, you know. I'm getting the poke damage. That is your biggest tool you have as Bard, is you have Survivor Bow, your songs, and everything. See how I just annihilate the Bard right there with all these? I'm like, I know he's weak, so I push in, kill him. He was really good too, which is really... So, this is another good fight because we were facing a Warlock and a Barbarian. These guys are very good as well in duos. We know that, so I'm keeping my space. Now, I know the Warlock's to my to my right here, and he keeps, you know, trying to heal, and I'm just getting free shield damage. Shield. Keeping my space, making sure I can't get hit. Waiting for the Barbarian. Give up this space because I don't feel like it's a good space for us to hold. Hit Warlock. Just kill the Warlock. Now, the reason I killed the Warlock is he just placed a Hydra. He threw a Dark Bolt, and I headshot him, and then body shot. Just gone. Which is surprised me. Now, the Barbarian knows his teammate's dead, runs at me. Pashi does an amazing job. I'm waiting for Savage Roar right here. He popped it, so I'm going to do less damage if I just go at him. Block. Oh, kind of messed up. Okay, I was kind of messing with him right there. But the spacing is the main thing. I'm keeping my space. I'm around the corner, shielding, dealing damage, and especially like when they first try to come in, you know, backing up when needed, shielding, acting like I might fight, acting like I might not, making sure that we have the advantage in this fight and we can back up if we needed, making sure that I'm dealing damage as well. Because they don't have a cleric, any poke I have is going to hurt them. So, in this part right here, this is another good example of shield. Since it does go through walls and everything, there's a guy just up here. I just kill him with shield. He's screaming, but he just kind of dies. So you saw a little bit of how I try and play fights in my play style. So if you want to see me live or ask questions, my Twitch is in my in the description. Same, I mean, you should be watching this on YouTube, so I shouldn't need to plug that. But you can go and watch my previous videos. That duo tournament, if you really want to know how to play Bard in duos and learn a little solos trick and get ready for trios, I really highly recommend watching that just kind of fully. It shows you how we fight ungeared and how we go from 0 gear all the way to gear we get in the dungeon, and just how we play as a team in the duos. So it is really good and really helpful. That though should be everything, and should give you the general basis of what you are looking for on Bard. Now, then again, it does take time and it takes learning how to play Bard very well, because in my mind, to be able to fight and kill every class, you need to know how every single class plays. So that is going to take you knowledge and skill and time to learn. Now, I gave you a general basis of gear, guidelines, and everything, and how I will build a kit. right now, I will show you how I would just build, let's say, a easy, easy thousand gold kit. I am going to go for the lowest, like 1,000 gold. I'm going to try and stay in that budget. Let's look for the base heavy gambeson. So let's look for a heavy gambeson with armor rating. Jeez, couldn't spell. So I could go just something simple. You know what? Let's just go green. 100 gold right there. Let me get like a 100 gold right there. All right. Now let's go a heavy leather leggings, and let's go armor rating on those as well. So I could easily go cheap. Let's go with blue. Give me that one extra vigor. That's plus 85. So currently I am at 185 gold spent. Let's go leather cap. Leather cap, armor rating as well. I could spend higher. Let's just go cheap. Cheap leather cap. Cheap leather cap. Now let's go either strength or ribbon. Let's try let's try reinforced gloves with like true physical damage. Cheap. 100 gold projectile, 99. Easy. Alright. Now we're missing boots. I gotta get rid of that. Adventurer boots with move speed. These can get really expensive, so if you just don't want the move speed, go maybe even knowledge, or can I get move cap on these? I can. Let's build, see if I can find one that just has 2 mem cap. Easy. Any of these? Just get, boom. Green, 2 mem cap. Alright, let's put this on real fast. Stats, kind of low HP, armor rating, pretty good though. And I have true currently on my thing. So now that I see I have low HP, a little low dex, mem cap, kind of lacking. Let's go back. Ooh, wrong one. Let's go back to the market and search up necklace of peace, and then go for a true physical damage, 130. Let's go for a, ooh, not epic, a rare for 230 plus 233 gold right there, and then we can put that on. All right, more HP right there. Now let's go for rings. Let's go for ring of courage. Let's go for additional damage instead. You know what? Let's say fuck that. Let's just go for the cheapest ring in general with additional. You know what? That's too cheap. Let's go for true. Let's go for true. 99 ring resolve. We have a ring of survival. I wouldn't even say these are bad because it's resourcefulness. Then again, you're going in with a budget kit. So, alright. Easy. Go for the next one. This one. 166. Boom. Easy. Now, cape and weapon. Let's go. Rapier. Probably just epic rare. Just get simple rare one. So probably go over 1,000 right here. Let's go for cape is the main thing. Let's look at my spells. Spells are kind of lacking. So if you're going in trios with a budget kit, I'll try and go for this. So you are looking at, you could either go storyteller as well if you go on budget to make it to where you don't have to spend as much as knowledge. But to be honest, might even try and go for a radiant cloak or something. Just go, fuck me. Dude, Alright, we don't worry about that. But let's go like Radiant Cloak. Additional Mim Cap. How much is an additional Fizz? 150. That would put us over, but I mean, I'm still gonna get it because 200, 150. It's cheap, you know. 150 for that 1 Mim Cap, 2 Knowledge, 1 Physical. Boom. And then we would need like a Buckler. With armor rating. Just simple, extra 120. And then let's go Survivor Bow. So since it is just poke, just go like 1 weapon or something, just cheap. So in total, this kit cost me like 1,200 about, right? And it's green. Like, this is a cheap kit, right? But look at my stats, you know. Dex is low. If you really wanted to spend an extra gold, buy Dex rings instead with true or additional. Change, you know, cost you like 200, 400 more gold. Alright, now I have the Dex I need. Alright, look at my health. Health is low. Upgrade your Heavy Gambeson. Upgrade your Reinforced. Upgrade your Pendant. Upgrade your hat. These bases, if you just upgrade these, your health will go up. Now, if we look at move speed, I wouldn't care about move speed too much. You go in a tanky build, right? Now, armor rating. 33%. Then with self buffs, and if you have a cleric with like aura or something, it's gonna go up. You're gonna get around 40% PDR with this build, which is not bad for a build that you spent only 1,000 gold on that can last you. And if you have playing with your teammates and whatnot, you're gonna be very good, and you're gonna be pretty tanky as well, which is good. Good PDR. Now, if you want more PDR, I recommend, you know, changing out boots for higher tier ones, higher tier. Just in general, you get more PDR with more PDR stuff. But even on cloak, you could get PDR. You could get armor rating on your rings, cloak, gloves, and other stuff. It's missing a few, but even like this is a budget kit that you can always play with. In my mind, is the best budget kit. It's 1,000 gold, and you can do almost anything you want. Like right here, boom. Look, I have all this Mim Cap I need to play all this. 1, 2, boom. I don't even need Storyteller. Now, then again, I don't have Langor or Piercing Shield, but these are the main that you should have. And this is in my mind, really good budget kit. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you have any other questions, either come into my stream sometime. I do not mind answering any, or just leave a comment down below, and I will answer it to my best abilities. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully this was helpful to you, and enjoy your times in the dungeon.